Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today, talking all about Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman in the steel cage. This is going to be next week on Monday Night Raw. I honestly think this is going to be a really big match. I know that everybody is buzzing about the fact that the Shield is back together. You know, 2 weeks ago we saw them reunite backstage at Raw, sort of having a common goal of wanting to work together finally after all these years of being broken up. In my mind, people have always sort of been wanting to see the Shield reunite. We saw them come together a few times backstage at pay-per-views when everybody was in the same place at the same time. But now with them all finally being, you know, baby faces and being on Monday Night Raw at the same time, now we finally get to see them work together. To me, honestly, I think one of the best things that I saw was actually tweeted by my buddy Ravi, Assault and Battery, AAB777, when he said that it's finally fun to see everyone cheering Roman Reigns together, and nothing has really changed besides for now the Shield is back together, and because the Shield is together, now Roman is one of the cool things. I've always sort of been on the fence. I like Roman Reigns when the Shield was together. I even told Roman when I met him at SummerSlam Access one year when the Shield was all together, you know, that one day you're going to be the guy that has to beat both of these guys up, and I want you to know that everyone's cheering for you. Because at that time, basically everyone was cheering for Seth Rollins because of the fact that he was Tyler Black, and they liked him from Ring of Honor, or, you know, everyone was cheering with Dean Ambrose because they watched him come up through the independents. I forgot what his name was when he was there, but and everybody was sort of sleeping on Roman Reigns. But to me, he was that big guy that seemed like was going to be the guy, and they tried, and it didn't really work. Everybody keeps on, you know, saying that they wish the guy would turn heel. I'm honestly sort of surprised that they're going with the singles match. I know they want to save the Shield match for the pay-per-view at TLC. They even wanted to save them as long as they could, putting them together in front of the fans, like in sort of a save each other, you know, thing, because they knew how big it was going to be. Now they're trying to save that match as long as they can. So they're going to do the singles match. I thought, honestly, when they came out and they attacked Braun Strowman as a team, it was going to be able to show that they were working together. But at the same time, I thought that was a way to sort of protect Braun Strowman for the month, seeing how he doesn't really have a place to have a big match on the pay-per-view on TLC since Brock isn't going to be there. Roman, Dean, and Seth Rollins are all put into one deal. That was one of the reasons why a lot of people were surprised when Seth and Dean kept the titles at the last pay-per-view, was because sort of sacrificing one match with so many stars in it. Now we're getting this three-way match, and sort of people were sort of negative on it when it was going to be the Shield versus the Miz Taraj, because it's freaking Bo Dallas and shoot, what the heck's the other guy's name? Curtis Axel. I was thinking of McGillicuddy in my mind. I didn't want to say that because he hasn't been that in so long since he was you know, in NXT and all that jazz. But you know, now that Sheamus and Cesaro are in the match, a lot of people are happy about it. But I keep trying to think. I mean, last time, you know, Strowman was in a steel cage match on Raw. It was against the Big Show, and that was sort of when he threw, you know, Big Show out of the ring through the cage, and it was sort of a match to show how powerful Strowman was. Now we're putting him in there against Roman, and they can't do the same thing where Strowman dominates a match. I keep running through all the scenarios in my mind, and the only thing I can think of is that you know, they have the match, and the Bar and Miz try to use it to their advantage, that Roman is trapped in there, and maybe they try to take him out 3-on-1, and because of the cage and because of the four guys in there, maybe they use their advantage to try and beat Roman up by Ambrose and Rollins tried to enter the cage and they can't get in there, and they try to take Roman out. That's about the only thing that I can really think of, other than Roman beating Strowman and him getting that win back from when Strowman beat him a few months ago on pay-per-view. And then, of course, you know, after the pay-per-view was over, they had Strowman try to take Roman out one more time, and Roman got out of the way, and Strowman ran through the ambulance. And that sort of was the wink and a nod that Roman's still going to be okay. And even though he lost, it's sort of like he won that night. Because they can highlight the fact that Strowman ran through an ambulance on the Raw talk after the show. So, it is what it is. I'm really looking forward to the pay-per-view. I'm really looking forward to seeing them put the Shield against the Bar and Miz. I think that's the match that everybody's excited for, but I don't want to sleep on this cage match. I think this is going to be a good one, and it should be a fun way to hopefully main event Monday Night Raw. It's almost like they've taken that last hour of Raw and thrown it out the window with, you know, I know they did the title change with Kalisto beating Enzo in the main event, but who's tired of seeing Enzo main event Raw? Main event's supposed to be the main event. Put the biggest thing on last. That's what I want to see.